You ever notice how some people, as they get more life experience, just kind of stop explaining themselves? They get quieter, more thoughtful. And it's not because they have nothing to say, not at all. It's because they've hit this really profound stage where silence is a choice, a powerful one. So today, we're going to unpack that fascinating journey into quiet maturity. So why does this happen, right? Why would someone actively choose silence? It really goes way beyond just being an introvert or being shy. It's a signal of a huge internal shift, a move away from feeling like you have to prove yourself to the world and towards simply living your life with a quiet intention. All right, let's jump right into the heart of it with our first section, choosing silence, not emptiness. This distinction is absolutely crucial. We've got to reframe this quietness, not as some kind of void, but as a space that's actually filled with a deep sense of awareness and understanding. So here's the core idea. We're talking about a phase in life where you just stop feeling that constant pressure to explain every decision, every move, or even who you are. This comes from a really deep realization that not everything you do or think needs to be put out there for a vote. Some things are valid just because they are. And this comparison here lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the phase of explaining. We've all been there, right? You're focused on proving your worth, making sure everyone gets your side of the story. But then you graduate to the phase of living. And here, everything changes. Your steps become more measured, your words are chosen carefully, and your decisions are really thought through. The whole focus just shifts from performing for others to living with your own integrity. And this is the real why behind it. This huge shift isn't about being afraid of what people will think. It's the total opposite. It happens because this sense of personal responsibility is just baked into who you are now. It guides you. You're not acting for an audience anymore. You're just acting in line with your own solid internal compass. And that deep sense of responsibility, well, that's what builds our next section, the birth of true maturity. So where does this quiet strength really come from? I mean, what forges it? Well, it's born right here, in the quiet moments, in the challenges you face when no one's watching, and in the burdens you carry without a single complaint. It's the daily grind, the silent duties, the effort that no one sees. That's what builds real, unshakable emotional stability. It's not about the big, flashy victories, but the quiet, consistent effort. And this whole process creates a really clear internal transformation. First off, your mind just becomes more stable. You're not so easily shaken by the chaos of the world. Second, your emotions are way more controlled. You learn to respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting. And third, and this is a big one, your focus shifts from what you want to what is truly necessary, your duties, your principles, your core commitments. And all of this leads to this incredible inner calm. Now, this isn't the kind of peace you get from having everything you ever wanted. No, it's something much deeper. It's the peace that comes from accepting your life for what it is, with its limits, its unique lessons, and its own path. It's this quiet confidence that you are exactly where you need to be. You know, when your inner world changes that dramatically, it only makes sense that your outer values are going to change too. And that brings us right to our third section, rearranging life's values.
At this stage of life, it's not just that you start prioritizing things differently. The actual definition of what makes a meaningful life gets a complete rewrite. The old scorecards for success and happiness, they just start to feel empty. They get replaced by a new set of principles that are deeply personal.
So, what do these new values look like? Well, for one, the small, simple things in life suddenly hold the most meaning. Honesty stops being just a policy and becomes a bedrock principle. Consistency, just showing up day in and day out, becomes its own kind of sacred practice. And maybe best of all, that exhausting race to compare yourself and prove yourself to everybody else, it finally, thankfully, comes to an end. I love this because it perfectly captures the new pace of life. It's not a frantic sprint anymore. It's a deliberate walk, just one step at a time. There's this deep faith that by protecting your energy, your principles, and your peace today, you're actually building this incredible, unshakable strength for whatever comes tomorrow. And that brings us to our final big idea, where we can tie all of this together, the measure of a whole life. What does it all really add up to? I mean, how do we define a life that's lived with this kind of quiet integrity? Well, it leads us to this really powerful definition of maturity. See, it's not about what you own or the titles you have. It's the quiet, calm ability to handle your role, to carry your responsibilities, especially when the road gets bumpy and nobody's there to give you a round of applause. It's all about grace under pressure. And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. The final score isn't about speed. It's not about who gets to the finish line first.
It's all about the journey itself. It's about getting through the ups and the downs without losing who you are, without shattering your principles. It's about arriving at each new day with your wholeness, your integrity completely intact.
So, as we wrap this up, it really leaves us with a question to think about. When you look at the phase of explaining versus the phase of just living, which one feels more true for you right now? And listen, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's all just part of the journey.